Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining Catherine and I for Wits and Brains. This is our first episode, and we're so excited to bring you not only laughs, but some pretty amazing information about businesses. So, Catherine, you ready to get started?
So ready to play. Let's do it, Casey.
Awesome. So, today's episode is called Cow Patties. So, when we were talking about this episode, obviously it brings some laughter, but in all seriousness, it's about basically getting rid of the BS that you have about your goals for the year.
Get rid of the BS right
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. So, what are some ways that some of your clients kind of put that BS in front and prohibit themselves from achieving their goals?
Well, honestly, it's totally being honest with yourself, which that seems to be the issue. I have a thing that I just popped into my head. I have a thing that I say eat, EAT with my clients so they remember. I always have meetings with my clients where we eat, so maybe eat is the thing.
I love it. I'm a foodie, so I love
The first thing is educate. If you don't want to BS yourself, educate the hell out of yourself, of your industry.
it.
So that could be, it could be free. You can go to that thing called a library, and there's tons of stuff right there. It's
Hold on,
not
what's
just
the
a
library?
exactly, exactly. The old school, old fashioned way of a pile of books or pamphlets or whatever. Educate, educate. So you don't have to BS because you know you're smart. I love that. The next thing is A for awareness. If you are literally self aware, you're going to make some money because you're going to know what you're good at, what you suck at, everything. And then T is transform. You're going to transform yourself into that person that needs to own that industry. And gals like us, we never apologize for our success.
Yes,
What if,
indeed.
when it comes to marketing, what should people do? Because honestly, as a business scientist, people ask me constantly about marketing. And
Okay.
I just refer people like you all the time. So
So before I jump into that, I have to first ask a little side note here. Do
go.
they even have card catalogs at the library anymore? I feel like I'm dating myself.
I don't know. You know that thing called like Dewey Decimal System
I
and
don't
all that
even
good stuff. I
I
don't know.
don't
You
remember.
if you if you walk in, I'm sure some lady will see your like you're scared in a room and they'll help you as long as you whisper. I think whispering is the rule.
This is probably why you and I don't frequent the library.
Right. Oh my god. I have gotten kicked out of a library before. So
That's too funny.
but
Uh,
just like grab info, right?
yeah.
Grab the info. I think people think there's only one way. You follow some big multi-million dollar dude on the internet and they think that's how you do it. It's not. You could save your money and just educate the hell out of yourself. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I learned the hard way with that. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in school, but at the same
well, me
time,
too.
yeah, I also utilize free resources to educate myself, like you were saying. And I
Yeah.
think, kind of what you're talking about with the eat, it's like when you take that time to really educate yourself, it's not necessarily about tooting your own horn. It's really just about being able to help others and understanding that even though you're helping others, like you have to accept help from others. So to me, you're BSing yourself if you think that you know it all. Like, yes, educate yourself, but at the same
Yeah.
time, know that you don't know everything and that you might need some help.
You know, that's so good. Yeah, we don't want to be all into ourselves, but then we don't want to feel like shit about ourselves either, right? So, like the BS, like I'll have a client and they'll say, you know what, I stink at everything. I can't do anything. I'm never going to win. And I'll be like, you're right. because that's what you're saying.
Yep.
But if you want to say some positive stuff, we could probably work from here.
Yeah.
So, like the BS comes in, the BS, oh my God. Oh my God. So, I've been at a networking event in your area before, and there were other people like me roaming the room. And I just heard them BSing person after person after person. And I thought to myself, I hope nobody falls for this crap
Yeah.
because this person's not going to help you. This
Yeah.
person doesn't care about you. They just want you to deposit your checks,
Yeah.
which I'm not against. I'm not against
Great.
anyone depositing their checks.
They're great.
But you get my drift. Like it's the BS is out there. So
Yeah. Well, I think you bring up a good point. Like when people are BSing other people, they also start to believe that and they BS themselves. So in marketing, one thing that I see a lot of is, like people will have these lofty goals and they'll be, like a $500,000 company and they're like, oh, I want to get to 3 million this year. And I'm like, well, what are you doing for that? Like, do you have something that is in your pipeline that you're expecting to catapult you? Well, no. And I'm like, yeah, you might want to stop BSing yourself. Like, let's be a little realistic here.
yes, yes. I have worked with people. Well, I'm working with some now that their goal is 1 million. But I'm telling you, we meet 20 days out of the month. Like there's serious things that we got going. We can't
Wow.
skip things, right? So it's like that. Like, yeah, I want $3 million. Well, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I don't know. I
that's
went to a
true
networking
commitment.
event.
20 out of 30-ish
Yeah.
days, that's commitment.
Yeah. Yeah. And their commitment. I
Yeah.
mean, they're exhausted.
But they're definitely not BSing themselves. That's for
They're
sure.
not, this is not a bullshit. It
Yeah.
is not. It is not.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the marketing thing, I think people think if they do one social media and they do like I don't know, a thing every Tuesday or whatever, like that doesn't automatically, right? It does not automatically make you that 3 million.
No. So what's really funny is that you brought up EAT, and that's actually an acronym that we use in marketing because Google goes off of that.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so it's
Look at
so
my wisdom right here
I
on day
know.
one.
You didn't even know it. And they are really just pushing this whole eat concept. And it's funny because, people think, like you said, that you can just put some stuff out there on social and, oh, it's just going to grab that magic person and they're going to wave their wand and everything's going to be good. But you really have to have that authoritativeness, the trustworthiness, everything in order to really excel online. And that's more than just social media.
Right. And marketing is more than social media. I
That's
think people are lost there too, right?
yes,
Those,
indeed.
yeah, they're like, well, I post on such and such. I don't even want to use the words, such and such social media, and I did not make my million. And I'm like, well, there's a whole bunch in between there.
There is. And yeah, I don't even want to get off on that tangent because I could go all day long. We could do 18 episodes just on
Yeah. So, what do you see, or how do you feel about the BSing people? Like, I see them where they stay stagnant.
So for me, it's about your mindset. So funny story, as you know, I do a lot of professional and personal development. So I go to this, it was like a 7-day personal development course that was a follow-up to a 3-day kind of weekend thing. So I'm there and this guy says, you need to stop BSing yourself. And I'm like, whatever, buddy. And he's like, seriously, you need to be able to call yourself out and say, okay, I'm coming up with excuses. I'm doing this, that, and this, whatever. You need to stop doing that. So I'm going to allow you to purchase something that will remind you of your BS. Catherine, do you know what I purchased?
Dying. What?
A plaque with a mound of gold cow poop on it.
Oh, perfect.
Cow patties. However, so I wanted to bring it out, but I'm in the process of moving, so it's packed away. However, I will at some point when the time is right. But this plaque literally reminds me of when I'm coming up with excuses and when I'm not just putting one foot in front of the other, because all I'm doing is fooling myself when I give those excuses.
Yes. It's like when I screw up my time management and I want to blame it on the clock instead of myself.
Yep.
Which I hate to say, I'm the one who tells other people, right? To like pay attention, time block, all those fancy little words. I'm the one who uses those words. And then I'm the one who screws up. And it's like, I am BSing myself.
Yeah.
I want to point to someone else who's the issue.
But again, that's some BS. You have to take responsibility. So
I love it.
Actions that you find that people can take to really get rid of the BS.
Well, I just recently read a statistic that it said half of the female founders said their issue is they can't find other female founders. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of fell for it a little bit. And then I'm like, well, I'm here. You're here. There's people here, we just happen to be female founders. We're both talking. We both have something wise to share, even though, we're with some brains, whatever. I'm just saying, stop BSing yourself. Stop BSing yourself and find those people that should be your, I don't know, dream team, whatever the heck you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a female advisor. Anyone, please look at my website. Let's work together. There, I'll sell myself. No,
go for it.
Quit BSing and making the excuse you can't find someone to hug you or whatever the hell you need in life. You can find it. Whatever you need, it's out there. It's probably sitting at your dinner table, or it's probably sitting at your girls' night out or fancy hotel or whatever. It's probably sitting there.
Talk about fancy hotels.
So that's what I would say. Stop the BS and find those people, because they
excuses to me.
Yeah. I mean, maybe all the women should just get on their social media and say, I'm looking for a female founder. And you will have 9 billion hands raised. And out of there, someone's worth your time.
Yeah.
Someone's worth copying, whatever you want to call it. So
to me, the word that comes to mind is collaboration. Like ask people to collaborate and stop. So many things that I could say, but stop thinking that everyone is your competition. That is the biggest pile that you can tell yourself.
Yes. God,
abundance.
So true. So true. The collaboration makes you money. Why not get a piece of something instead of a bunch of zero?
Yep.
Why not? Like, you and I are different people. I mean, we just discussed I might be a year or two older than you.
I think it was only like 6 months.
It was just 6 months. I swear it is. Anyway, we're different people. We are having fun and collaborating, and I swear this is worth our time.
Yeah. In some way, shape, or form.
Right. Quit BSing. Damn it. Quit BSing.
Yeah, I would absolutely say, I'm going to steal Nike's line, just do it. Just get out there and do it. Like, you never know what something is going to bring. I mean, yesterday, one of my team members said, what is the benefit of you, collaborating with Catherine? And I'm like, and she's newer, she's just getting immersed in this type of business. And, I gave her this whole list of stuff and she's like, wow, I never thought of it like that. And I'm like, you just never know. You just got to do it.
Yes. When you and I started talking, and I feel like it was 20 years ago, but I'm sure it wasn't. But when you and I started talking, I wrote a list, which I have a list right next to me, that I did the pros and cons the pros were amazing. And I couldn't even find cons. I had to like work really hard.
Hour? Like,
Right. I mean, why would I not want a smart, strong female partner, I guess, in a project?
agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like RFPs all the time. And so I need more than myself in an RFP. I need other consultants and coaches and all that good stuff. You
Mhm.
wouldn't believe how many freak out when I ask them. They're very suspicious of why I want to share a project with them. And I have like two that I always keep relying on, and I throw them in there. But like, why? What is the problem with that? Both male, female, I don't care. I just need you to be smart and like know how to talk to people. So
Yeah, and like present yourself
yeah.
well. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty amazing, Casey, but I can't coach 1,000 people.
Yeah, this is very true.
I need partners.
True. Yes. All right. So to wrap this episode up, so what are
Yeah.
some key takeaways that we have for our listeners?
Well, we're gonna eat.
We are.
Eat in marketing, and we're gonna eat in business.
Yes.
So stop BSing yourself. The cow patties are enormous out there right now.
They are enormous.
Yeah. Stop trusting people that are full of it. Right.
Yeah.
Just stop it. Stop trusting. Matter of fact, take your gut and trust it. Your gut is smart.
What a concept.
We go from cow patties to guts. And we're eating.
And not only did we go from cow patties to guts, but our next episode is all about body odor.
Stink.
Yeah. So, with that being said, stay tuned for episode 2 because we'll be talking about how your mindset might stink and how that could be impacting your business. So,
that's right.
Yes, indeed. So thank you all for listening, and we will see you on episode 2, which is body odor in business.
Thanks, badass.
Thank you.